passion for genealogy, ancestry, family tree. And it all started with my gran. She swore blind that the person living 2 doors down from her when she grew up in a little village called Cricklade wasn't related to her. With the same surname, I was so determined to prove her wrong. And I did. But in doing so, it fueled a really big passion of mine. I absolutely love it. Problem is, I get a little bit hooked sometimes, so I actually have to hide it all away every so often, just so I don't get a little bit too obsessed with it. Always start with what you know. Write down what you know already. You might be surprised. You might get more than you thought. Now, I started mine back in 2000, so quite a while ago. But I started with exactly that. I started by going and speaking to my parents, seeing what they knew, and at that time my gran was still alive, so I spoke to her as well. And some of the stories she can come up with are amazing. And if you're lucky, they may even have some old family documents. This particular one is what was left of our family Bible. I think my gran always used to say that one of my, my great-great-gran had a little bit of a tantrum, shall we say, and ripped it up. And this is what was left. But luckily, it got saved. This bit, the family register. So births, marriages, and deaths. Brilliant start if you got it. Having said about this, I didn't get this straight away because my gran forgot she had it. It wasn't until we went through a huge box of stuff of hers when she moved from Essex back to here that we found all this stuff. By then, I'd kind of already started it all. Now, when we came across all those other bits that my gran's, we also came across this picture. Now, some of you may have seen this one already because I put it on Twitter at some point, and I think I put it on my Instagram as well. But this is E. Kilminster's. Now, this was a shop they had in the High Street in Cricklade, which made me even more fascinated about how Cricklade people lived back in those days as well. But this here, just here, that's my great-great-granny and all her children. Her husband, Edgar Kilminster, is the one that ran the shop. This is now, I believe, a kebab shop. But kind of cool. One question I quite often get asked, and I've noticed this, is it costs so much money to do your family tree research. How do I do it? Now, to start with, if you've got living relations, then they're the people to ask first. That's free research. You can get some great stories and some great information. I have an abundance of photos. I've been very lucky. Some people have that as well, and you don't know unless you ask. So try that first. There are also some free websites as well that you can go down the route of. I'll put them below. But always start with what you know first. You don't need the internet to start off your tree. You have to start with what you know. Okay, I feel like I've said that quite a lot. Have I said that quite a lot? Start with what you know. Start with what you know. Always start with what you know. But it is true. It all started with my family. Now this is 4 generations. 4 generations of women in the family and my son. Nice hairstyle, Mikey. Start with your parents as well. They'll know people you didn't even realise they knew. Now, obviously not everybody's going to have an abundance of photographs, but there are quite a few people out there that do, particularly grandparents, great-grandparents, where they've hoarded all the photographs. Obviously these days we don't have them as much. They're just on your phone or on Facebook or on some sort of social media, the cloud, whatever. But back in the day, it was always photographs. So use the photographs if you've got them. Don't forget, like simple things like events, day trips, family groups, even school pictures. My grand in these ones. There she is in that one. And there she is in that one. Forces pictures too. Later on we'll look at war records. And weddings. There's always an abundance of families at weddings. I wanted to make sure that there was a record passed down to my children. And yeah, they're not overly interested right now, although my youngest is a little bit. She's far more fascinated by all these photos and things, but the oldest aren't really. So I wanted to write this down so they had the opportunity to tell their kids if they want to in the future. Stories of people's lives that really should not be lost. So these are extra snippets on my channel. I'm still doing the whole history thing that I'm doing every Sunday, but I thought I'd throw in this as well because it's another one of my passions that I'd love to share with you guys, and kind of take you along my journey. How I discovered things, how you can discover things. If you ever have any questions, pop them down the bottom and I'll see whether I can help as well. Come join me. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you kind of enjoyed it. A little snippet insight into the very beginning of all this. If you've got any questions, put them below. If you want to know anything, put them below. I'll see you next time. Actually, I won't see you, you'll see me. But you get the idea. Thing is, at the moment, so many people are at home, so you may have a bit more time on your hands. Just because you can't go out doesn't mean you can't ring those family members and find out the information over the phone.